Hey, you cheeky chappers. Well, okay. Um, Yesterday it was a terrible, terrible result for us in the 8:15 race on the YouTube video we did yesterday because we did a later back on this one. Now I want to talk to you about it. This is a training for later backs, and it's so important about doing certain things and certain reasons. I think I've got a ghost. Right. I saw loads of comments saying my bank's done in. I've lost my bank, and genuinely, it proper ruined my night last night because I hate knowing that I had an impact on people losing money, and it made me feel really upset. Um, and not really upset, like boo hoo, but just like a bit down about it. And I don't. I I want to make sure you guys know exactly how to exit a trade if it goes against you. Now, what I said yesterday on the YouTube video was, if this horse doesn't pull, get out of the trade, right? I named the factors why I wanted to later back this horse, and there was a few primary reasons why I wanted to later back. For example, I thought it'd pull hard, I thought it'd be held up. They're the two biggest reasons, and I thought the price would go out. I also thought that Counting Sheep would be the front runner. It wasn't, and so number one rule, there's two rules here. Number one, if something happens in play that you did not expect, get out. Get out 1,000,000%. Get out straight away. Because there's no point you being in a trade if the trade is different to how you did your homework and the reasons why you got involved. So, for example, we thought this horse would be pulling hard and held up. It didn't. It was a front runner. As soon as it front run, I got out. Now I had a massive liability on it. I had like over £500, 540 quid liability or something crazy like that. And as soon as it was a front runner, as soon as it came out the gates and front run, I got out. I exited it for £88 loss across the board. 88, so that's less than 20%. So I took a less than 20% hit of my liability because, and my stake was big as well. My stake was £500. And the reason being is that this is why later backs are so good, because if you are disciplined, you can get out straight away. Just as soon as it goes differently to how you thought it would go, as soon as your criterias have been changed, as soon as something in running is not the same, is not the reasoning why you entered the trade, exit the trade. Exit the trade. And yeah, I was gutted that I lost 88 quid, but if I, and the weird thing is that if I'd left it like 10 seconds later, it bounced back out to even money, so I could have got out for hardly anything of a loss, if a loss at all. So it was, but it didn't matter because as soon as I want to show you a replay, right? Let's replay because this horse never traded higher than its SP. Let's make sure that's there it is. Right, bang! Now I'm out. I'm out straight away, and that's probably why I took a big loss, like less than 20% loss of my stake. It's probably why, because I'm out now, and the market isn't very liquid. So I think I put in a down to 1.8 or something. So I took all the money from like even money all the way down to 1.8 because it was a big stake, and that's why I lost like £88. But rule number two is, if you're later backing, the people who lost a stake and had a stop loss in on the software, it bounced through your stop loss straight away. So the price went through your stop loss, and your back there was trying to get matched, but there was nothing on the lay side, and so it bounced through your stop loss. You should never ever have a stop loss in place, but on the software, on the later back. You should always do it manually. Do a manual stop loss. And yes, this is something that I have only just recently been doing myself, purely because, again, like other people, it's gone through my stop loss. And if it's gone through, I've normally always said that if it goes from a stop loss, that's part and parcel of it. But no, you don't have to. You can simply put in, you do it manually. You can exit the trade manually. Do not do it with a stop loss on the software, because if this happens, if the unexpected happens, and this horse goes from pillar to post in front, you will not be able to exit your trade. It'll bounce through your stop loss and not get matched, and therefore you'll be in a world of pain, like so many people yesterday. So guys, honestly, I'm sorry about this yesterday. So what I want to talk to you through is here, right? For example, let's just get this matched. So if I'm putting £10 on, Right, there we go. So I put £10 on this back to lay. This oh no, I've done it the wrong way around, haven't I? Oh no. Right, let's exit. Cut, cut, good training, not. Right, so I'm doing a later back. Right, so we're going. Oh no, now I'm going to. Could you want to do it for £10 stakes? Right, £10. Right, so here, as we can see, we win £10, say £10, and we lose £15. And what we were looking to do now is we're looking to gain 30%. So what I want to do is back £7, and I'm going to show you how to put the manual stop loss in as well, guys. So what we do is just go up, 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 up. Right, that'll do. Right, so that's a 30% profit. So we want this horse to go up to 3.6. By the way, I have no idea about this race. It just looks similar. The colours are similar to yesterday. That's the only reason. So, yep, we place it and we press keep. Excuse me. Right. So that's there. And so now what I want you to show is a stop loss. So that one's there. So we've got a stop loss. We've got that one in play. That's our profit. That's the one we want to get hit. So now we're putting a manual stop loss in. We're not going to put it in there. I'll show you. So we're going to put and say I only want to lose £3 across the board. So because I'm going for a 30% profit, and I'm also going for a 30% loss. So the worst case scenario, I will hit 30% loss. Best case scenario, I will get my 30% profit. So it's an even money shot. It's an even money shot, basically. And let's have it across the board even. There we go. Right. So what I'll do now is, as you can see here, I've got my back to lay in the market already at 3.6. Now this will be happening obviously just before the race. And this is what I do. Obviously it's easier if you've got some sort of ladder, but if most people don't have some software, then this is the thing to do. So we've got our open bet there, and we've got place bets there. And all I do, simply as soon as these stalls are open, I've either got it on here, with the Betfair race, so you can watch it live stream there. And so I've got it. What I'll do, I'll just pull that over there and have that there, or just so I can see it. And then I'll press, and I'll have it on the computer, the television over there. I'll have it on somewhere. Anyway, the race. And as soon as something happens, what I don't like, that I didn't expect, that my research didn't have in the notes, maybe this one was supposed to lead and it didn't lead. Well, obviously you won't be back into lay a front runner. Okay, if this was held up and it was at the back of a field normally and it was midfield, then I'd exit the trade. I think. Because as soon as something happens where you aren't expecting it, it is not in your notes, it's not in your reasoning why you did a later back, then get out. Get out of the trade. Don't stick around. Don't ask any questions. Just get out. There's plenty more races, and you've got to be so disciplined. And if you are disciplined, that is why later backs can be absolutely fantastic. Because with your research, with your edge, you would expect this horse to hit 3.6 before it ever hits 1.95. And then soon, if it is going down bad direction, because by the way, if your research is saying it's held up and it normally doesn't, come in play or anything like that, then chances are, then it is going to hit this one. So you're backing even money for a horse for something that has more chance of happening than not. So it's a fantastic bet. It's a fantastic trade. However, you have to be disciplined. As soon as something happens where you don't expect and it's not in your notes, you need to get out. It has to be that way. It has to be as simple as that. It has to be unemotional, no connection to the trade. Don't get connected to it in any way, shape or form. Just get out. And at the end of the day, it's only 30%. It's only 30%, so you'll be able to get that back in your next later back anyway. So it's just part and parcel. Exiting the trades are part and parcel. And by the way, exiting here, this is a worst case scenario. You would more than likely, if you're quick, you would more than likely just get out with very, very little red. You wouldn't get out with 30%. That is worst case scenario. So, Betting Nation, hopefully I've explained this well. Number one is, if any two takeaways here. Number one, if anything happens during the race that you didn't expect from your pre-race homework, from your pre-race research, then get out. And number two, don't have a stop loss in a software have a manual stop loss. Okay, Betting Nation, I do apologise about yesterday, but you were bound to get a loser on this channel at some point. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow with some normal later backs or back to lays. All right, have a great day, and yeah, again, I do apologise about yesterday. All right, speak to you soon. Bye bye.